3 for 20, and all proceeds go to support Philadelphia Stories, which is a nonprofit magazine. We're an all-volunteer staff, and we're primarily supported through member support. So if you're not a member of Philadelphia Stories, we encourage you to become one. It's just $20 a year. You get home delivery, and again, everything goes back into supporting the magazine. So, and great writers like you're going to hear today. So, thought we'd start with Nina, who's got friends who have to catch trains and husbands waiting in cars, which is very nice of that guy. So hopefully he's got some good radio on there. So first up we have Nina, Israel Zucker, and she's a poet and a teacher. She's taught creative writing at Rowan University and has been a leader for the Spring Fountain series offered to educators in New Jersey for 10 years. She also teaches Spanish for the Cherry Hill School District, and her work's been in a bunch of different magazines. You can read her poem online or in the magazine. And please help me welcome Nina.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for braving this weather, and my dear friends, and my dad, who's here hearing me read for the first time. He's very excited. And my husband and my youngest son, so we're fully represented. There are two poems. One is in the printed version, and then one is on the online version. So I thought I would start with the poem that is in the online version, and just to give you a little background on it. Unfortunately, my mother has Alzheimer's, and so it's been a very hectic year for us. How about that? And I was reading Waiting for Godot, and there is a section where Vladimir is talking about waiting and thinking that something is going to happen, and not sure if it will. And that the lines really struck me about the idea of not knowing if something is really happening or not. And then a tree fell down in my neighborhood, and all kinds of things came together for me. I don't know why, but Octavio Paz's poetry came into my mind as well, since I do spend most of my day in the world of the Spanish language. And this poem is called Tree Removal. The tree has no choice but to have its heart exposed, as I tried to coax my mother to sleep. Deep below ground, insects call to each other in perpetual darkness. This new underground life traded for another. This useless chipped sawdust, collected in a pile, while my mother tears at her clothing, discards items in public places. Cowboys wrestle with the chainsaw, grinding included in the price for stump removal, as if loneliness can be thrown in for nothing, as if the chipped trunk is satisfied to be unable to grow back. And all this time, I am doing the cooking and planting. And if she wakes, or thinks she does, she won't be able to tell me the tree is gone. She only knows something alive is missing. The blue and gray afternoon, the swamp maple snapped in two in the middle of Lark Lane, the lights flashing at each corner to ward off homeowners from turning too quickly onto their street, loaves of bread or containers of milk about to turn from the heat, a danger to the dinner. Perhaps they are thinking about what it felt like to wake or think of waking, and what could they say of the day now that they can't get home. Hi, Julia. Okay. The next poem is in the magazine, and it's called the fig tree, and I have a wonderful fig tree thanks to my dad, who is the gardener in the family. And several years ago he gave me a stick, and he said, put this in a bucket, and then when it has a root, stick it in the ground. And I did, and it's grown into a 10-foot by 10-foot tree in Ocean City, and it's very happy. And it's quite a remarkable thing. A fig tree has lots of fruit on it, which apparently is not really fruit, and is just quite a presence. The fig tree. The fig tree has fallen in love with the place in the yard that separates neighbor from neighbor. I didn't ask permission to plant that stick of wood between the two houses. It seemed small and innocent, a foot of broken branch, with the only life visible in the veins of a small white root poking from one end. What did I know of the soil and its minerals? Only that I could scoop it with one hand like cake and drop the branch into a small warm hole, pat the sides upright, and go on with my laundry. And here it is now, 8 feet tall and wide enough to hide me, full of a ruby-centered fruit, tentacles of crystals, green rocks dripping with white liquid. If I am too late, the head gets so heavy that birds call to me to pick up the overripened, broken flesh. I carry the warm teardrops into the house and place them on the table. Here is my still life, lush and desired. The neighbor has no idea. Thank you. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing something we shouldn't be doing today in light of what's happening in Haiti, and I feel that we're so lucky to just be sitting here in the rain and worrying about whether we're going to get a traffic ticket when everything that's going on there is so horrendous. And I just wanted to read one more poem. This is a poem that appeared in Poets Against the War anthology, because the war doesn't seem to be going away either. This is a poem that was started because I read a story about 2 young girls, one who was an Israeli girl going to buy her Shabbat dinner on Friday night in Israel, and another girl who was carrying a bomb strapped to her. It's called Shopping List. Ayat al-Akras, 18, walked up to the supermarket last Friday with a bomb. Rachel Levy, 17, was carrying a shopping list. I would show her the ground, the mice in the basement, those stoic daffodils, collections of letters tied with rawhide and bells, or the woman at the back of the church telling me to speak louder, she can't hear, and where are the free donuts? Or the dream of shuffling papers, not having enough, the moments before you hear from your parents and realize they have no idea what state you are in, before you pass by the spiny-headed pineapple or the strawberries nestled together like overgrown pomegranate seeds. Maybe it is learning to wait at 2 a.m. Maybe it is a cell phone ringing. Maybe it is your child telling you a story. His hands, your hands. His feet, your feet. He turns his palms up as he talks. What to buy for dinner seems so simple now. And what the photographer sees, a girl posed before a garden backdrop, hair thick and exposed, modern clothes, familiar expression, looking straight into the camera. I would show it to her before she strapped bombs to her waist and crossed the boundary. I would tell her, like Stein, there is no there. Maybe in a season like this, I would show her what can be good. Thank you.